So begin by making your commitment to being here. And then establishing the posture. The first part of the meditation will take us through the posture in a fair amount of detail. Not everyone's body-brain connection works in according to the words that you may hear. Let go of the parts that you can't figure out, that you go, I don't know what this means. My body doesn't do this. That's totally fine. Pick up the parts that resonate in your body and do something in your body. Use this first section of the meditation for shamatha, for stopping and calming the habitual mind. See if you can sit on your thighs rather than on your buttocks. So your thighs are actually on your cushion or the chair and less so of the buttocks. So your sit bones are pressing down into the ground. Let the sit bones push down and see if you can create space in between the sit bones, between the legs. You can take your hip bones, the back of the hips, and almost like bring them apart slightly to create more space in the lower abdomen. Hollowing out the lower abdomen from in between the legs to create support for the spine. As if this is the base of a fountain bubbling up the spine, up the front of the spine. As if you have a straw and you're bubbling up the straw, up the spine, allowing the chest to open. Notice that there is a tendency when we open the chest to pull the shoulder blades together. See if you can let the shoulder blades widen. Let the shoulder blades fall back into the back, so the heart can open both in the front and the back and the sides. You may not feel your shoulder blades squeezing. You may feel that your arms are tightening, the upper arms are tightening towards the body. Release them. Allow some space between the arms and the body. And notice your neck and your throat. See if you can allow space, a feeling of hollowness in the throat. Notice if the head gets tight, maybe thrown a little bit backwards from the neck. Tuck the chin slightly under, easily, to open the back of the neck, to allow better circulation into the brain. And then reestablish the space between the legs, the support of the lower abdomen, the straw bubbling up all the way, as far up as you can make it. It may be just to the waist or to the chest, or perhaps to the throat. And relaxing the throat. And then hollowing the skull. The hollowing of the sinus cavities may manifest as a smile. Let your eyes move back in the eye sockets towards the back of the skull, and let that open the skull further. Creating the space to support the opening and the softening of the heart. Just allow the posture to be there and come back to that hollowing within the body throughout the meditation when you need to create more space in your heart. Allow this support to be there. Looking at the arrows, the knives within my heart, pains and insults from throughout my life, being put down, being ignored, taken advantage of, pains from childhood, from younger years, adulthood, pains that are very old, and pains from just yesterday. Arrows that were planted in my heart before I was born. Arrows seeded by parents, family members, teachers, authority figures, friends, strangers. I look at each arrow and I open my heart, creating more space, physically making space for the arrow to loosen. I can mobilize the hollowness in my abdomen, in my chest, in my throat, in my mouth, in my eyes, to open my heart and make space for the arrow. As the arrow loosens, I can look at another arrow and offer it space, or just stay with this arrow until it dissolves. I adjust my posture, giving the heart more support, hollowing the pelvic floor. I allow my eyes to move back towards the back of the skull, to let the heart soften, widen, and open, dissolving arrows in my heart by offering them space. See if you can make the process very physical and yet very subtle. Scanning the arrows in my heart, making my heart space larger. I keep doing that until the arrows fade into the background of the mind. And the creating of space in the heart, more and more space becomes the foreground. I keep making my heart larger, offering more space. My heart space is infinite. Whatever the pain, whatever the insult, the heart can always be larger than the pain. The arrow is there, but my heart has even more space and is not invaded by the arrow. And doing the same, offering space to that which offends me, people I dislike, opinions I disagree with. I make my heart physically larger so as to offer it all space. When I feel the space congesting, collapsing, contracting, I generate the space by coming back to the posture of the body, supporting my spine by hollowing my core. The space of my heart is infinite. A sacred space has no limits. A sacred space can contain all things and still always expand and contain more. Like Vimalakirti's room, holding thousands of bodhisattvas, or the space of the many-jeweled sutra up in the air, expanding when the Buddha offers the Lotus Sutra. I have infinite space. My capacity to include more is infinite. All I have to do is support my own core, my own spine, and more space becomes available. I generate solidity without rigidity. Solidity and ease allow me to embrace all arrows. I practice like the earth, sitting like the earth, absorbing whatever is poured on the earth, feces, urine, saliva, pus, and I nurture trees and forests and flowers. So stretch out and massage any part of the body that might need it. Then come back to your posture of the body and the mind for the reciting of the Metta Sutra. He or she who wants to attain peace should practice being upright, humble, and capable of using loving speech. He or she will know how to live simply and happily, with senses calmed, without being covetous and carried away by the emotions of the majority. Let him or her not do anything that will be disapproved of by the wise ones. And this is what he or she contemplates. May everyone be happy and safe. May all hearts be filled with joy. May all beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, invisible or visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of danger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Just as a mother loves and protects her only child at the risk of her own life, cultivating boundless love to offer to all living beings in the entire cosmos. Let our boundless love pervade the whole universe, above, below, and across. Our love will know no obstacles. Our heart will be absolutely free from hatred and enmity. Whether standing or walking, sitting or lying, as long as we are awake, we should maintain this mindfulness of love in our own heart. This is the noblest way of living, free from wrong views, greed, and sensual desires, living in beauty and realizing perfect understanding. Those who practice boundless love will certainly transcend birth and death.